Hi there, happy Friday. It's time for another episode of listening to Michelle chat about Camp Widow. Today I want to address the question of whether or not we have people walking around the hotel wearing badges that say I'm a widow. It never really occurred to me to think about it, but I often will refer to the fact that that we wear badges and that people will ask us about our badges. Somebody said, "Oh my gosh, they make you wear a badge that says you're widowed? That's terrible." So I thought I'd clear up the badge thing. So I'm going to show you mine. Here's my badge. See, it doesn't say widow anywhere on it necessarily, but there's the Camp Widow symbol. It has your name in great big letters because we've learned over the years that people are looking at the badges like this to try to figure out what your name is. So, okay, the bigger name, your full name and where you're from. And then if you have an online handle that you use, and by that we mean if you're part of Widowed Village, a lot of times we use different names so that we can keep our identities anonymous online. And so you might only be known by your Wild Princess name or your Widower Jack name. And so we will put that on there for you if that's something that you'd like, if that's a way people will recognize you. This is my board member tag, but we all get one of these, and that is how long has it been since you've been widowed. So you'll have the opportunity to put a tag on your badge, which really just helps us identify each other and kind of have a sense of how long it's been without even having to ask. But if I were walking around the hotel with this badge on, no one would particularly know why I had a badge on, only that I was attending a conference. So on the one hand, yes, we do have badges that say we're widowed. On the other hand, it doesn't have a big W on it, or we don't stamp your forehead. What's cool, though, is that people do tend, by the end of the weekend, to be really happy to talk about these, because you never know who you're talking to. Every year, I'd say probably for the last 4 years, at every camp, we've signed up a widowed person on site who found us because they talked to somebody in the hotel or they saw one of our signs in the hotel and said, "Oh my gosh, there's a place for widowed people. Can I come in?" So, of course, we always say yes, because yes is my favorite word. But I picked up this badge today to talk to you about the badges, and I realized that this is my badge from Camp Widow East. This just passed in April, and I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but inside, this is the back of my badge. Obviously, this is where I store all my keys. But there's a penny there. I don't know if any of you ever read anything I've written about pennies, but maybe some of you have a penny thing too. Shortly after Phil died, a woman I was walking with, we walked past a penny, and she said, "Oh, that must be for you." And I said, "Why would that be for me?" And she said, "Well, haven't you ever heard of pennies from heaven?" And at that point, I had not heard about pennies from heaven. But the idea is that if you find a penny, someone is thinking of you. Someone who's dead, specifically. So I just kind of poo-pooed it and thought it was a sweet idea, but, you know, okay. And then, I kid you not, I started finding those pennies in every strange location you can imagine. I won't go into it, but the cool thing is that while we were dancing on the dance floor on Saturday night in Myrtle Beach, I turned and looked down at the floor, and sitting in the middle of the dance floor was this penny. And so I said, "Hi, honey." And then I picked up that penny and I walked it over to my husband and said, "Look what I found on the dance floor." He took the penny in his hand and he said, "Of course you did." And then he put it in his pocket and saved it for me. And then I put it in my badge to keep it. So anyways, I just found that this morning, and I thought I would share that little story with you. And assure you that though we do have badges that say we're widowed, it doesn't say widowed in big black letters. So I hope that clears that up for you a little bit. And I really, really, really hope that I get to see you June 28th to the 30th in San Diego. I can't even get over how excited I am about the things that we have planned for you. So, you'll find all the information on campwidow.org, and thanks again for watching. Take care of yourself this weekend.